Welcome to the KIS Investing Week in Review. What a week it was. We had elections. We had one of the biggest moves in the stock market's history. We had the Federal Reserve. We had the jobs report. We have COVID. We have a lot to talk about today. So get ready and let's get to the week in review. Let's start by looking at the COVID cases through the world. And we can see Europe just exploded at the end of September. And also the UK is ripping up higher. And guess what? The USA also is ripping up tremendously. And together with Russia, these are the four countries that have the biggest increases in cases. Now let's take a look at the US. Yesterday, Friday, for the first time, we broke 132,000 cases. And if we think there are 4 to 10 cases additional to the tested positive cases, then that means we have between 500,000 and 1 million people getting infected in the US every single day. The good news is if we keep this up, in 3 months, everybody would be infected and we would have herd immunity. But the cost of lives, if doing that, is tremendous. I think this is a policy of the current administration to try to follow a little bit what they did in Sweden. And let's see, it's an experiment. And I hope it works for the sake of everybody. And I hope everybody stays healthy. Now to the election. The election was one of the closest elections in history. But if we go back 4 years, also President Trump won its electoral college by the thinnest of margins. And we're seeing it repeated once again now on the hands of the Democrat. And we're only interested of the stock market reaction. And we had one of the strongest weeks in the stock market history. And I believe it's because we're going to have a Democratic president and a Republican Senate. Meaning gridlock, meaning no new laws, no new taxes, no regulation to hurt the companies in the United States. And the market is just loving this scenario. Now let's take a look at this sentiment indicator. Look how stretched this sentiment is right now. We're reaching a very overbought, over extreme, over anxious indicator, and I think the market is getting ready to at least pause or maybe sell off a little bit and give back a little bit of the huge gains it had this election week. Now let's take a look at what happened in just the last 5 days. Look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was up 9%. 9% in 1 week. It's unbelievable. And the S&P, the Dow, and the Russell made up gains about 6% each, which, if you guys remember, last week these indices lost 6%. So we're actually gaining what we lost in the previous week. Now let's take a look at 1 month performance of the stock market. And here you can see how last week we were down a lot, and this week we were up a lot. Take a look at the 6% down move last week, and now the 6% up move this week. And year to date, the Nasdaq is having one of its best years ever. Yes, ever. Up almost 40% for the year. The S&P is having a super solid year, up 9% almost. And the Russell and the Dow are flat for the year. And this is the tails of the two markets. The technology sector is very strong because people believe that they're going to have a lot of earnings, and the other sectors are not that strong at all. Now let's take a look at the sectors within the S&P 500. Once again, technology ripped up higher 7%, and healthcare ripped up 8%. Why? Because people believe that the healthcare companies will not get hurt by this gridlock administration. And energy, even energy, the ugliest sector of all, was up 1.3%, but it's still down 51% for the year. So everybody was a winner. Every sector was green. Now let's take a look at the FANG stock. And once again, Google ripped up higher because they're worried about getting regulated, getting broken up. And with this gridlock administration, it's going to be very hard to achieve that. Also, Microsoft ripped up higher. And once again, the FANGs, all green, all systems go. Tesla was up another 5%, and it's up 413% for the year. Now let's take a look at my anti-bubble positions. Look at rare earth. Oh my God. Rare earth ripped up higher, and I hope you guys have been able to purchase some or all of the products that I have outlined starting in June. And the gold miners just had an unbelievable up week. Why? Because gold had one of its strongest weeks of the year. Gold was up 4%. And look at the multiplication factor for the gold miners. With gold up 4%, the miners were up 12%. Gold is up 28% for the year, and gold miners are up 41% for the year. One of the things that I'm looking to buy in the future very, very soon are the tips, because I believe inflation is going to come roaring back and with a vengeance. And tips is one way to play inflation. The other way, of course, is to buy things like corn, soybeans, wood, gold, etc. And those are positions that I'm looking to add more in the following weeks as soon as we have a small dip. That I believe that dip is coming very, very short. Thank you very much for watching KIS Investing Week in Review. Wow. Get ready, because next week I think we might have a sell-off after a 6% up move, which is absolutely crazy. Maybe it can continue, maybe not. But watch out for my Trade of the Week video, where I'll explain how to take advantage of this opportunity, of this big ramp up to make some money for us next week. Remember, if you like this video, consider sharing it. Also, please click like, click subscribe, and also consider clicking the little bell so you can get notified when I post a new video. Also, if you want to learn about personal finance, I have a free course of the 9 proven steps to becoming a millionaire. Link below. It's absolutely free. And lastly, if you want to open your account at tastyworks, and I have an affiliate link down below, please feel free to use it. And once again, good luck trading, and remember, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit, baby.